he liked, and you were lucky enough to get this and I'll do it for him, he would reach up around the desk, shake your hand, and say, "Solid."
Thank you so much. And John would be pleased. John is pleased. We now will have a presentation, poetry presentations by Sister Sandra Allen. Please welcome Sandra Allen.
Good evening. In 1999, I came to Mark 5 and the Arts and Crafts Festival as a exhibitor. I absolutely detest the word vendor, so I like the word exhibitor better. And I found a home here among a very interesting group of people that's constantly changing, that's very interesting, and I made it my home. In 2009, in June, in 07 there was a fire. And I wanted into the record that Market 5 did not burn. For those who remember, this section of the building did not burn. And I think that's sort of a metaphor. But be that as it may, in 09, folks came. You know, the mayor came, the city council came, board members of MCAP came. MCAP is the board that directs the operations in Eastern Market. And they stood outside and they thanked themselves. And it was amazing because they never once acknowledged that there was anything else here except for 14 folks. They never once acknowledged that there was this vibrant, dynamic, multicultural arts community that had been here for a long time, that had helped this whole neighborhood grow and change. And I went off. And what I did to be quite humble is I started raising a little hell. Then when I found out that John died, it was horrible because he was never thanked. He was never acknowledged. What he created was never acknowledged. What we helped build was never acknowledged. Nobody said, "Thank you, exhibitors, for standing out in the rain and the cold and all that stuff. Thank you. And thank you, Market 5 and the festival, the flea market, Eastern Market, for holding it together while the building removed." Nobody ever said that. So I do pray God that there is another ribbon cutting for John Harrod Hall, and I do pray God that the mayor will come and thank us. But when John Harrod died, I needed some comfort and I needed some reality, so I went to what I did. I went to the poetry of the Harlem Renaissance. I went to Harlem Legends. And there's this beautiful poem called "A Black